Hello, North Charleston Elementary families. This is Isis Span, one of your community partners, and I just wanted to come and speak with you guys really quickly about test season and some test prep. Just six quick tips on test prep. All right, so we're moving into testing season. We know some of our children have anxiety when it comes to testing, right? Testing makes them nervous. So I just want to talk to you briefly and just give you some tips that I've used both as a teacher and as a mom to kind of help children along the way. Okay. So the first thing, tip number one, we always want to look at where they're coming from. Okay. What does that mean? Pull up that last score, whether it's MAP, whether it's SC Ready or Pass, pull up that last score and really talk to them about what they made last time and just your hopes and encouragement for this time. Not necessarily, dragging it out that they have to make this number and they have to get this thing right, but as simple as you made a 315 last time. This time I know you can do at least 340, 330. Just giving them and recognizing that they can grow. So not saying that you have to do this thing, but really encouraging them and motivating them that they can do this thing. And even as a parent, just understanding they may not meet that mark. They may not meet a specific goal, but focus on the growth. Okay. So that's tip number one for me. Focus on how much they've grown from the last time to this time. Okay. And number two, ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask questions of your child's teacher, of the school. If you need reminders of the testing dates, if you want the testing times, if you want to really understand what it's going to look like that day, like just ask those necessary questions so that you also feel comfortable guiding your child into the testing week and into the testing season. Okay. Tip number three, there are practice questions that you can use, and I would advise you to use them. So when I was in the classroom, I did a lot of practice with my TDAs. I did a lot of practice with like sample test questions from MAP, sample test questions from SC Ready and SC Pass, just so that the children are getting comfortable and familiar with the language of the test. Because for a lot of children, it's not that they don't know the answer. Sometimes it's the way that the question is worded that is really kind of tricky for them. So if we can go ahead and practice some of those things with them, practice the wording, practice the structure of how the test is asking the questions, I feel like that will be a really good advantage for them, because they won't be so nervous and they won't feel like they have no clue what's going on, because at least they'll have some exposure to that. Okay. And then 4, encourage them to take their time. And taking time doesn't mean moving slow. Taking time for me means double checking to make sure that what I have as my answer, what I have on my paper, is what I want to submit in the testing system. So double check, triple check, quadruple check, especially when we're talking about math. Make sure that they've done the right operation for each step. When we talk about reading, make sure that they have chunked the text. If they need the chunk, make sure they understand the vocabulary, make sure they understand what the question is asking them before they give their answer. Okay, that's what it looks like to take your time. And 5, okay, we want to make sure that if our child is on an IEP or 504, that those accommodations are being met and that we understand what those accommodations are. So is that small group? Is that extended time? Is that particular devices or specific things that they need in order to do their very best on the test? We want to make sure that we know what is my child's plan going into this testing season as it relates to their IEP and their 504. Okay. And then last but certainly not least, make sure that they get rest. Make sure that they go to bed on time. Make sure that they get up on time. If we can put some fruit and some water and just things inside of their bellies as they go into testing. That's also equally as important. Okay, so we're gonna wrap those two together. Make sure they get rest and make sure that they eat well the morning of testing so that they feel rejuvenated and that they feel refreshed and that they feel like, I'm gonna go in and I'm really gonna do my best. Okay, so those are my quick 6 tips. 1, we want to make sure that you look at where they are now and encourage them to go further, right? Encourage them to show growth. 2, ask questions to your school, ask questions to the teacher. 3, use sample questions that are available through the testing site, through the state website. 4, encourage them to take time, double check those answers, make sure that what they're submitting is a true reflection of their knowledge. 5, make sure that you check in on those IEPs and those 504 plans for testing accommodations. And 6, get some rest and get some good food in that belly so that they can do their best on the test. Ooh, that rhymes. Doing their best on the test. All right. So, once again, I'm excited to know and to have started a relationship with everyone that I met during the brunch. And I'm excited to connect and to learn more about you, about your babies, and just love on you guys and serve you guys and just be here as a resource for you all. So again, my name is Isa Span. I'm one of your community partners. I'm also on your School Improvement Council, so I'm representing my company, Fundamentals of Learning. I'm also representing a local nonprofit, which is E3, and we are here to support you. We are here to educate alongside you, empower, and elevate together, because we know that our children have genius within them, and it's just time for us to tap into that, and just be here for them and love on them. So I wish you guys the very, very best during your testing season, and I also wish you a beautiful school year, and I can't wait to see you guys again. Have an amazing day.